We finally did it, guys. Um, if you've been following me for some time, I've been a fan of future house music since the start. Since the start of my career, I've been trying to get on future house music and of course, I've got an upload there, and I've gotten a track on an EP. But this is the first time I ever release a single on future house music, and I'm very proud of it. I truly believe this is my best song to date. I don't think it even has competition. I think this song represents completely who I am. It is hard to explain, but I do believe that the energy, that the melodies, that everything, the whole vibe around it really feels like me. And I'm proud of that. I think it's the peak of what I've been trying to achieve with Future Bounce, or at least who I was at the time of making this song. I actually made this song last year, and I would love to tell you guys a story on how it was made and some crazy stories that happened around it. Um, if you've been following me for years, I've been making Future House and Future Bounce, and my style has been developing over time. It has been growing, it has been turning into something crazy. But the interesting part about this is that although it feels like I'm getting better and like my style is growing and everything, I do feel like this is the way music works, isn't forward, but inward. And I feel like this song isn't an end result, but it's a closer look into who I am as a being, as a soul. I think as I've been growing as a producer and everything, I've gotten to a point where over time I've been finding myself on my music a lot more. And that's what I'm really proud of. I'm really excited for that. And I think, again, I think this song really, really, really represents who I am. If you can listen to the song, take your time to actually sit down and listen to the song, focus on it for a second, and try to see if you feel myself on it. It's hard to explain. There's one producer who I feel really actually portrays who they are, and that is, I think Skrillex does this very well. But anyways, the way this song started was thanks to this book right here. The way this song got started was thanks to a book I was reading at the time, and it's actually this book right here. If you can see it, it's called The Theory of Celestial Influence: Men, the Universe, and Cosmic Mystery. This book was written by Ronnie Collin. If you look at this at the artwork, it actually looks like my artworks normally, the ones that I normally use. This book talks about physics, about quantum physics, about astrology, occult, esoteric knowledge. And there's a chapter on this book called The Times of the Universe. It's actually the second chapter. And this chapter talks about the relation between space and time, the harmony of the planets, the relation of time and space between planets. When I was reading this, not only was I learning stuff, not only was I coming up with my own theories, but I also got this knowledge gave me a certain type of energy, a certain type of vibe that nothing else ever gave me before. I could explain all the information regarding space, time, and the universe, but there was something I just couldn't express with words. And I remember I was like, I gotta write a song about it. I gotta write some chords about it. So I sat down on my computer, I opened up Serum, and I made chords. Funny enough, what happened after just getting the idea of making a song from that thing I read, everything started to flow so naturally. Like I knew exactly what kind of chords I needed. I knew exactly what I needed, and everything worked so easily. If you're a producer, you know that sometimes it's just really hard to make music. And in this case, it was just so natural to me. It was as if I was just expressing myself with no limits. Sometimes I think ideas are something we are given. I think ideas are thrown at people, and if you don't make that idea, someone else is going to do it. In this case, I paid attention for once. This time, I guess it was my time to bring these ideas into music. I'm not sure, but if you are really focused on what you're doing, it's almost as if you're just a tool for something bigger than us. I'm just here as a bridge to bring something beyond me. If somebody would have told me before reading this book or before anything on the story, like, can you sit down and make a song as good as this one? I would not have been able to. I truly believe there are bigger things than just technical aspects and just creative aspects, like even bigger than just creative, you know? And I feel like this song really, really portrays who I am and what I'm connected to. And anyways, so this song got created in a couple of days. And I remember I was so excited and I reached out to this very big producer. At the time, there was a producer asking me for songs. After I released Face to Face, I remember a lot of people started to follow me and stuff like that. A lot of the people that followed me during that period of time asked for music. And I remember I was so excited. And I thought, I should send them this song too. Although, like I've said, I made this song because I just wanted to express myself. Not because I wanted... the initial goal for this song wasn't getting it signed on any label. So I sent this track to someone. I'm not going to name anybody because I don't want to get in trouble, especially because they didn't tell me to talk about this, of course. But I would really like to tell this story because it's just crazy how life works. So I end up sending this track to this guy. And when he heard it, I'm sure when this guy heard this song, he was like, the only thing this person said was, yo, I think this is very sick, but it could be better. Can you send me stems? I sent him the stems and I didn't think of anything. I just sent him stems because I trusted the guy. And I gotta be honest, this guy is one of my biggest idols of ever. This is a guy I look up to since forever, and I still look up to him because I think he's one of the best producers out there. And I remember that person kept on talking to me. I kept on creating new ideas and everything. And a lot of time passed. I pretty much forgot about the song, to be honest. And I even forgot that I sent stems to him. And we kept on talking. This guy was so cool. I was honestly extremely hyped. I've never been this inspired ever before in my life. So shout out to you. I don't think he's watching the video, but if he ends up watching the video, I've got mad respect for you, bro. And I really appreciate the time he took to talk with me. He literally had my WhatsApp and he was just like friendly and stuff. And I was like, this is awesome. I don't think there's been a time I've been more inspired. That person was asking for IDs and I was making an ID a day. I'm not kidding. I was making a song a day and I kept on working and I kept on working. And like I've said, I forgot about the song and time kept on going. And that producer was coming to my town to play a show. And I was like, I think this is my time to meet that person. Of course, you guys would understand that. I'm not only a producer, I'm also like a person, you know? And if you're talking to a person for days, it's like you feel like they're your friends now, of course. And I remember I was so excited to meet this person. I was very excited. And basically what happened is I sent him a message and I was like, yo, can we meet up when you come? He said yes, but we didn't organize it. But I have a great friend. Shout out to Maciel. He got me backstage passes for the place he was gonna play at. I decided to go, and I told Maciel, like, bro, I don't want to sound like I'm a like a fanboy and I'm just here to annoy him. And he was like, bro, he knows you, he talks to you, he sends you like even voice memos and videos. Like, you guys are friends. It's good. It's cool if you meet him. And I was like, bro, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want anything from him right from the start. I never wanted anything from him. Like, I wasn't sending him IDs so I could get on his label or like so I could get something in return. I never wanted anything. And it's funny because, and this is how I am with pretty much everyone I talk to. Dirty Palm, for example, there was this time where we would send tracks nonstop. It was only because we were good friends and he just sent me stuff and I get inspired and I send him stuff and then he would get inspired and then I would send him stuff and it would be like a really cool thing, you know? But anyways, I was so scared to meet this guy. I was so scared to meet him. We went backstage and we found his place. And when I got there with my friends, they were like, "Bro, I think we should move somewhere else because there's so many people around, like looking for him, for that specific person I was trying to find." And I didn't want to be a fanboy, you know? I wasn't there for the photo. I was just there to say hi. I wasn't expecting anything. And I swear, I sat down. I remember I sat down with my friends on the floor. We were just sitting down, just chilling, just talking. And out of nowhere, when we were alone, when nobody else could bother us, I see that person coming out of his backstage room. I don't know the name, but I forgot the name for that. But he comes out really happily. He's walking like this, and he says hi to Marshmallow. I remember he said hi to Marshmallow, and they were like hugging and everything. And I was like, and I look at my friend and I tell him, bro, he's there. He's there. And my friend didn't even notice. He was using Facebook or something like that. But he looks at me and he's like, go, 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 go say hi. And I was like, no, I'm nervous. I don't want to go say hi. And he's like, bro, just go. And I stood up without thinking about it. And I was getting close to Marshmallow and that guy. And then I was like, yo. And he looked at me. And when he looked at me, I was like, while we were eye to eye, and I was like, this is not real, bro. And while I was thinking that, he looks at me and says, yo, legend. And I was like, yo, I was so excited. And I'm still excited talking about it. It was such a good experience. And I know you're watching this. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe one of his friends is watching this. I was so excited to meet him. And he was too, which was really awesome. I didn't even have to tell him, like, yo, it's me. It's like, he knew. So my friends were right. In a way, we were friends. And that's all I wanted. Like, I didn't want anything in return. And so he came up to me and we hugged. It was really cool, as if we were some old friends. And he goes like, yo, join me over here in backstage. And I was like, what? He wants us to go with him. And then we go there, and it's like there was this big guy guarding the door, and he was like this. And of course, he was letting us go in, but I still asked. If you're Mexican, you know that whenever you're entering someone's home, and that's not his home, but I felt like it was his home. So I was like, I looked up to the guy, to the guard, security guard, and I looked up to him, and I was like, may I come in? And he was like, sure, bro, just come in. And I was like, holy shit. And I look at my friends, and they were like, they were right next to me. So I was like, bro, let's go, let's go. We go into the room, and this guy was sitting editing an edit to play on the show. And he was like, yo, you gotta listen to this. I'm making this edit. And I enter this, and I'm feeling like, bro, I've never felt like this ever before, ever in my life. I felt like I was doing something right. I felt like I was cool. So I go inside. I mean, I never get out of my fucking studio. What do you expect? Not only am I at a music event with people I look up to, but I'm also on their backstage, on the room with other famous people. So it's like a 360, complete 360. Because like I've said, I'm normally at my room and that's it. Like, I just spend my time here. I make music, and yeah. But anyways, I went into this room, and there was like 10 people in there. So the first thing I did was say hi to everyone and introduce myself, of course. So I just went there and I was like, yo, what's up? I'm Jay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And then he was like, yo, if you want to grab anything, if you want to eat anything, you can go ahead. So if I wanted to get anything, I would have to unwrap it because nobody was eating there. And I was like, I'm good. So I didn't eat, but I did get like a water or something. But I've got to be honest, I was so nervous to be back there that I was just like, my eyes were peeled like this. And it was really fun. I mean, to me, it was really fun. And I was looking at my friends, and my friends were in awe. They were like, there's no way we're here. And I just look at them in the eyes, and I knew what they were thinking instantly, and they knew what I was thinking. And it was really fun. And the guy comes up to me, and he had his laptop. And he was like, you want to listen to this edit that I'm making? And I'm like, sure. So he plays it in front of us again, because he played it when we first got in. but he played it again, and he was like playing it. We were so excited. It was really fun. There were also two big producers in there, and I remember like I look up to them a lot too. So I said hi and everything. They were the coolest people ever. And out of nowhere, and here's why I've been telling you this story. This guy, out of nowhere, the producer we're talking about, looks up at me and he's like, yo, I gotta tell you guys, this is the guy I have a collab with. And at that moment, bro, it was just out of nowhere. Here's the thing, I didn't know we had a collab. I had zero idea. I never told him, yo, let's collab. He never told me, yo, let's make this a collab. And then I thought, holy shit, is that why he wanted the stems? I was, guys, I know that was very naive of me, but when he asked for stems, I didn't think of anything, and he never sent me an update. That's very important. And months went by, like 4 months went by or more, like five, till I met him. And when I met him, it was like he said in front of everybody, every single person, "Oh, this is the collab we have. Remember that song?" He told one of his tour managers, just to be specific, he told one of his tour managers like, "Yo, remember that song I showed you about the lasers?" And I was like, "Lasers?" I was thinking lasers, and it's like, and then he said, "He's the guy I'm working on it with," and I'm like, "No fucking way, bro." And I swear, bro, I swear, I swear. And at that moment, I looked to my friends, and my friends were like, I'm sure diapers would have been very helpful because my friends were shitting themselves. They were like, no way, you guys have a collab? You didn't tell me. Like I knew he was saying that, but we weren't talking. We were just sitting like this. Imagine, us three, because we were three people, just standing like this. He gave me the news in front of everybody that it was a collab. And when I say it was a collab, I mean Rhythm of the Universe was a collaboration with a person I looked up to so much. And I still look up to him. Shout out to that person. I gotta say, that day was the craziest day ever. It was one of the craziest days ever. Honestly, I was so excited, and it was like, I cannot believe this. I get out of that room. I honestly was like, I cannot believe this. And it's crazy because the story is such a long story, and I'm trying to tell it as short as I can, but I feel like with this kind of stories, you can't really skip much of it because every single part is important, you know? So this guy says that, and I'm like, what? And then he says like, yeah, let me show you this other collab I have with someone else. And I was like, no way he's showing me a unreleased project with another big artist. I was surprised. I sat down right next to him on a fucking sofa, and I looked at his MacBook, and I was like, there's no way this is happening, bro. And I'm so grateful that it happened. I'm so grateful that it happened the way it happened. And I was listening to what he made, and I was like, wow, that is sick. That is sick. Long story short, what happened there was he ended up playing on a very big stage, and I asked one of the other producers, I was like, yo, do you think I should stay with you guys, or is that gonna be too pushy? Because I don't like being a pushy kind of person. Like, I don't like being annoying. I don't like to bother people. So it's like, as soon as he was gonna play, I got out of backstage with my friends, and I was like, yo, it was a pleasure to see you. I'll see you soon. And he was like, for sure, let's meet up. I'm gonna message you, okay? And he said like he had a surprise for me, for when he was playing. And I thought, no way he's gonna play our song. No way he's gonna play our song. But long story short, I didn't take a photo with him because I didn't want to be annoying, you know? I guess most people would have taken a photo, but I just wanted him to see me as a human, not a fan. Although I was a fan, I wasn't there for the photo. You know, I was there for the experience, and that experience changed me in many ways. It might sound basic, it might sound stupid, but trust me, it did change me in many ways. After meeting up in person, I feel like he trusted me a lot more. So he started messaging me even more. And I swear, there was times where I was sleeping and he was texting me. And I would wake up and I would have like 4 messages. And it would be like, bro, how is it possible? It was crazy to me. And because time zones, that person doesn't live where I live, so it's like times. And I remember I wanted to scream, I wanted to yell, I wanted to tell everybody, and I didn't. I didn't tell anybody. I hold it on to me because I didn't want it to be ruined. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want people to like mess up the vibe. So time went by, and this guy was gonna play at another extremely big festival, and he was like, "Yo, send me more IDs, send me more IDs." I didn't know anything. We didn't talk about the collab at that time, and I worked on so many songs, so many songs. The 2 songs I worked on, actually that I made in a day, were actually the Fire EP tracks that I released on Actuation. I made those 2 specifically for that person, and I remember I sent it to him, but he didn't listen to them. And this is where things started to like just take another direction. He was no longer that enthusiastic, I guess, about my work, and I put so much effort into what I was doing, but the only thing I could think of, maybe it's not my time yet to do something bigger than what I'm doing right now. Maybe it's not my time yet. But either way, I kept on sending him IDs and everything, and he was like, "Yo, let's sign this to the record label, whatever." And I was so excited. And I was thinking, "Fuck yes, bro. Fuck yes. I know." And I know I was thinking, I know I deserve this because I worked so hard for this. But I'm not the one in control. I'm not who decides whether I deserve stuff. I think something bigger decides. Anyways, he started messaging me about our collab finally, months afterwards, meeting up. And we tried making some changes, and he said, "Yeah, I still don't feel like it's there yet either. Let's keep on working on it." So I worked on it a lot more. I sent him a different idea, a different version of Rhythm of the Universe. And I remember he was like, "Yo, let me write this." So he wrote new chords for the breaks, but still he wasn't very happy with it. So I tried stuff and I wasn't happy either. I am happy with this version, but I wasn't happy with what we were making. So whenever he would make a change, I would just accept it, to be honest. He must have a bigger sense of what's good and what's not. So I let him do his thing. And I never told him like, "Yo, I'm not really the biggest fan of this. Why don't we just," my idea was like, "Why don't we just keep the song as it is? And if you want to add something else, we can do like another synth, etc. But we don't have to change songwriting. We can keep it." But of course, I understand that he wanted to add some things, and the chords he made for the breaks were amazing. I really liked those. They worked good. So he sent me this idea, and I put it on the project, and then I sent it back, etc. And there was this time where I don't know what exactly happened, but I exported the track so he could take a listen on Dropbox, and I wrote his initials and my initials on the file. And I remember I sent it to him, and the first thing he said, I don't think he listened to it, but the first thing he said was, "Can you please not add my name to it?" And I remember it was like a slap on my face. Das. He didn't even put a question mark on on what he asked. He was just like, "Can you please not put my name on it?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." So I changed the name, and I was like, "Bro, it was a Dropbox link. Nobody was gonna see it, and I wasn't sharing it with anyone." And I remember right from the start when I was first talking to him, I didn't share it with anybody because I didn't want people to think I was trying to get like famous because of him, or like big because of him, or like, I don't know. I was just trying to be friends and just make music or whatever happened. I didn't want to be another fan, and I didn't want to be the person that was known for another artist. But at the time, it was just so natural to me to send him a file that had our initials just for organizing purposes. But after that message, "Can you please not put my name on it?" After that message, he stopped responding. A month passed by, no messages, no replies. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months passed by. And I was already thinking like, I don't think he's gonna, and I was already thinking like, I don't think he's gonna reply ever again. So I sent him a lot of messages, more than I should have. I sent him a message saying sorry if I did something wrong, and I also sent him a message saying like, "Yo, I think it's time, and I'm gonna try to release this song on my own. So I'm gonna try to find a home for it, because I don't want it to sound old when it gets released." So that's what happened. He did not reply. The only time he replied was like 2 months ago when it was his birthday. Told him like, "Yo, happy birthday," through WhatsApp, and he was like, "Yo," but no reply whatsoever afterwards. So I ended up sending this track to the guys at Future House Music. They really liked it. They asked me to make a couple changes here and there, and I changed it, but it wasn't anything music wise. It was more like, "Yo, can you fix this part? Mixing wise, yeah. Can you fix this other part? Blah blah blah." And I did. And I'm really happy that I'm able to release the song exactly as I wanted it to be released, bro. It is not coming out as a collab. I wish it did. I really, really wish it did. I knew a collab like that had the possibility to change my life. And I still don't know exactly what happened, but I do believe it wasn't my time yet. A lot of other things happened behind the scenes, which I wish I could understand, but I don't. So that's the story on how this track got made. This song has been through a lot, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you already heard it, because maybe I released this after I released the song. If you already heard it, make sure to let me know what you think. Let me know, have you guys ever experienced anything like this? I would love to know if you guys have ever experienced something like this. I know it's very usual for big collabs to not go through, but again, I'm making this video to tell you guys the story of Rhythm of the Universe. I'm not here to throw shade at anybody. As a matter of fact, I'm here to say thank you to that person, because I am now, thanks to that person, I believe in myself in a way I didn't before. It sort of gave me this boost of confidence of like, you can do it. You can do it, bro. And I feel a drive, and I know I can do it, and I will wait for my time. I will keep on working hard, of course, to make it happen. But I know the universe has its rhythm, and I'm happy to consciously take part of the rhythm of the universe. And I invite you to do the same. I'll see you guys soon. Go listen to the song.